What's happening, Mad Squad? It's Joe, aka Mad Joe FC. Alright, so I'm still kind of like in the initial state of when I just saw the movie. There was so much that happened. Okay, so first off, this will be a party style review. Actually, I haven't done one of these types in a while, but basically what it is at the beginning I just give my general review, my general thoughts and opinions without spoiling anything. Then we turn up the party and throw spoilers left and right, because there were some spoilers in this movie. So also did a pre-review, just a short little review of me leaving the cinema, give you my like initial thoughts, like minutes after I saw the film. I might do those more, just so that you can see what I initially thought as soon as like I left the theater. So yeah. Alright, so first, what do I rate it? I give it a 9 out of 10. Okay? I give it a 9 out of 10. It takes a lot. Films don't just get a 10 out of 10 from me. Okay? It has to be like... It just has to be incredible and worth a 10 out of 10. This was a 9 out of 10. All the actors who were in the previous movie, they all acted great, just how they did in the previous movie. And I will say one thing. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm just going to say this. Yes, certain scenes from the first movie, like certain action scenes, they did basically do another version of those scenes in this movie. I'm not going to say in this non-spoiler part whether it was better, in my opinion. But I'm just going to say, yes, they did do different versions of like really cool action scenes from the first movie. The villain was good. Let's see. In my opinion, was she better than Samuel Jackson? I don't know. Because there's certain things about both of them that I liked better than the other. And then there's just certain things about both of them that I really loved in general. So, I'd say it was 50-50. In my opinion, between who was better, I'd say it's just 50-50. I don't know her actual name, but she did a great job as the villain. Very entertaining villain. Very funny. It was another one of those villains where it's like, you know, it was same as Samuel Jackson's villain. It's a villain that has a lot of money, has a lot of resources, so they don't really do any of the dirty work. They have people do it for them. It's not a villain, say like, for example, like a Marvel movie, like you know, Loki. You know, he does things himself. Like General Zod, you know, it isn't like that. It's just the type of villain that has a lot of resources, a lot of money, you know. And so I'm going to try and dodge through anything that could be spoilery, but I am going to talk a bit about the Statesman, just for those who haven't seen it, but you still want to know a little bit about the Statesman. They're basically just like the Kingsman, okay? They're just like the Kingsman, and you know, like how Eggsy is like the main character, then you got Harry, then you got Merlin. Like that's how it is for the Statesman. There's a Eggsy, there's a Harry, there's a Merlin. Like there's certain people that basically like is that role, but in the Statesman. So it was cool seeing that they referred to each other as the Statesman, referred to the Kingsman as being their cousins. They run like a liquor or whiskey You know, the Kingsman is like a tailor shop. Well, Statesman basically sells like whiskey and liquors, stuff like that. So they're basically the same thing. And I think that, I know it's short, but I think that about does it for my non-spoiler half, because most of the stuff I want to say involves spoilers. So that's it for my non-spoiler half. Now you are being warned. You're crossing over. The party's turning up. I'm turning up the dial. And we're going full on spoilers. So now's your chance to leave. 3, 2, 1. Alright. Alright. So many spoilers. What do I want to talk about first? Because there are so many. Okay, let's talk about the most obvious one, Harry. So, that was cool how he survived, with the, what did they call it? It was something that the Kingsman had, like it was a thing they put around him, and it went into his eye hole, and basically it kept him alive, but, he was in a state of amnesia. I think it was really cool how, Harry was taken out of the amnesia, like how it showed it, and the way that Eggsy did it, like he gave him the dog. I was expecting this. He gave him the dog. I was like, cool. It looks exactly like Mr. Pickle, and then he pulled out the gun. I was like, oh, the whole theater was like, oh shoot. I don't know if some people said because they haven't seen the first one, but me, I knew what he was doing, I knew what he was doing. And this is one thing, I should have said this in my non-spoiler half. I should have said, if you haven't seen the first one, you need to see the first one before you see the second one, because of Harry. You won't know anything about him, who he is, why he's important, why Eggsy and Merlin made such a big deal about seeing him again. I should have said that earlier, but oh well. But I think I really liked how Eggsy did it. He gave him the dog, he pointed the gun, and then everything started flowing back. Like Harry saw everything, and then he was back. I really liked how they did that in the movie, how his memory was jogged. Charlie! So, at first, for some reason, I thought it was... Remember the first movie, the one dude from the pub who, Eggsy and his friends, they jacked his car? For some reason, I thought it was him at first, because he had a buzz cut. I don't know why. I couldn't tell the face at first. I wasn't thinking about Charlie at the moment, so it was him. So at the end of the first movie, when Harry shocked him, it basically cut off his trigger to make his brain turn into fireworks. And so instead he just lost his arm. So he got a bionic arm, and this just takes me to the very beginning of the movie, which was absolutely amazing. So, that chase scene, that car chase scene, it was absolutely amazing. All of the action. I like how there's always a song to go with those action scenes where things are going in fast motion, really slow motion sometimes, and there's always a really good song to go with it. There were a few of those scenes, and so the first one, remember in the first movie when the dude was split in half? So in the second movie, I feel it was topped. I feel that scene was topped. So this woman is crazy. She's crazy. This woman tells this one dude to throw another dude in a grinder. and he comes out as processed meat. I was like, this lady just told him, this guy just threw a whole entire person into a grinder. And it stopped there. She's picking up the... She's making this guy into hamburger meat. I thought it was done there. Nuh-uh. So later, she turned him into a burger. She, a whole entire person into a grinder, turns them into a burger. It didn't even stop there. She tells him to eat it. And he ate it. He ate a whole entire person. I didn't know what to think. I was just like, this woman is not right in the head. That was crazy. That was crazy. Okay. What else? And guys, I'm not going to get to everything in this review. I'm just telling you now, there was so much stuff. I'm just going to try and think of everything I can. Like, there was just so much stuff. I'm not going to get to everything, most likely. Everybody who died. So, Roxy died. JB died. The one old dude, I can't remember his name, but I believe he played Alfred in the Dark Knight trilogy. You know who I'm talking about. If it's not him, then I apologize for being wrong. But I'm sure it's him. He died, and I think those were the only 3 who died. But yeah, they all died. That absolutely sucked. And speaking of Roxy, I really like how they didn't try and have like a, relationship between Eggsy and Roxy. Because, like in most movies when there's a love interest, like, you could tell this is going to be the love interest throughout the movie. By the end of the movie, they're going to be together. That didn't happen in the first Kingsman. And in the second one, they were still just friends. That was refreshing, when it's just the guy and girl could simply just be friends. They don't have to be, each other's lovers. So I really did like that. But it sucked. It really sucked that she died, and how you could tell like Eggsy really cared about her because she was like his best friend, even though he had a girlfriend. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was one of those things where the guy and girl can be just friends, So they all died. That sucked. It was funny though when Merlin was all like, haven't you forgot about your training? You don't show any, Kingsmen don't show any emotion until maybe they get into privacy. And then after they started drinking that whiskey, like 5 bottles in, or 5 shots in or whatever, I don't know how alcoholic beverages work because I don't drink, I never will. So it was funny when there were a few shots in and they were both bawling their eyes out over everybody who died. That was absolutely hilarious. Like I said in the non-spoiler half, if you didn't skip that half, then I liked how there were basically different versions of each person in the Kingsman. Like for Harry, what was his name? They all had like beverage and alcoholic beverage names. So the one dude, you know what I'm talking about, his name was Tequila. He was basically the Harry of the Statesman. Then you had Ginger Ale. She was basically the Marilyn, the guy behind, guy in the chair. And then, what's his name? But the dude with the whip. I can't think of his name right now, but you know who I'm talking about. The dude with the whip. That was basically Harry. And then Champagne was basically, I can't remember his name, but the dude from the Dark Knight trilogy who played Alfred. Champagne was basically that dude of the Statesman. So each member of each person of the Statesman basically had like a alternative. Well, each person in the Kingsman each had an alternative that was in the Statesman. So I thought that was really, really funny to see. The bar scene and the church scene from the first movie are probably two of the best action scenes I've ever seen in any movie. And I knew those were going to have to try and be topped. So they definitely did that. In the second movie, they attempted to top the bar scene, and it was absolutely incredible. Again, I can't remember his name, but the dude with the whip. You know, Harry tried, and like, he was still getting back to normal. So at first, I thought I was gonna get to see a really cool, Harry pub fight V2, but instead it was the other guy, and it was still absolutely amazing when he picked up the chair with the whip, threw it at the one guy, and just when he pulled out his whip and like threw it on the ground, that was hot. That was hot. Did it top Harry's? I'm going to be completely honest and say no. I enjoyed Harry's from Kingsman Secret Service better. Like, I did enjoy it better. I'm not saying the guy with the whips was bad, because it was incredible. I'm just saying, if I had to be asked, did it top it? No, it did not. It did not. But it was a very, very good second version of it. And speaking of him, I did not think anything about him being bad. So, Eggsy thought that Harry, it was just because, you know, he was still recuperating and stuff, the reason why he shot him. But no, Harry, he just felt it in his instincts, and even I thought Harry was crazy for it. Like, when it first happened, I was 100% with Eggsy. Like, when Harry at first said, I think this guy's bad, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, no, I think it's just, you know, you're getting back to normal, man. You're thinking things. And I didn't think anything about it the whole way through, because even, you know, we saw him in the jet on his way to them, you know, and then when he was shooting off, which, by the way, remember when he was holding his pistol like this, he was flinging it, spinning around, shooting everybody? That was dope. That was one of the dopest things I've ever seen anybody do with a handgun. That was absolutely dope. Just killing all of them. No backup. On it. Flipping them. That was amazing. That was incredible. I think if I had to say, see, this is the thing. Certain scenes that were meant to be topped, I don't think they were topped, but action-wise in a whole, I think Kingsman, The Golden Circle topped Kingsman in just action overall in general. But certain scenes, yes, it was better in The Kingsman. Where was I? Oh yeah, so I didn't think anything about the dude being bad. Like, I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. So, I didn't think anything about it until he showed it. You know, they were about to do whatever they were about to put the password in the case, and then he showed up. And I was like, well, okay. Wow. Until then, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't. I don't know. But, you know, he had his reasoning for doing what he wanted to do. What was her name? Poppy. Poppy, she had her reasoning for doing what she was doing. Like that when the villains have a good, clear motivation for what they're doing. They're not just doing it because I'm a villain, I want to destroy the world, you know, that type thing. Merlin's death Wow. All right. So I'm feeling kind of indifferent about this. I didn't want it to happen. Man, shoot, man. I did not want Merlin to die. I didn't. He was a G. Merlin was a G for that. So, like, he kind of tricked them, you know. He put the free stuff on the mine so that they could run away, thinking they were all gonna. Eggsy and Harry thought they were all gonna get away, but no. He just got Harry off. Well, he got Eggsy off so that he could put his foot on it instead. You know, he was saying like, "Your father did this for us. We owe the favor back to you." Harry was like, "I'm the one who, you know, his father saved. I should be the one doing it." But no, Merlin was a G. Merlin was a G. He was going to let Eggsy go and Harry go. And, you know, it was what it was. And I think he had a very, very good farewell, you know, when looking through all the bushes, looking at Eggsy, looking at Harry, singing the song, you know, nodding to them. He got a nod back from them, you know. When he did go, I was happy, and like all I could do was smile and just almost have tears of joy, tears because I was, you know, upset that he died, but I was happy, like how it happened, and I thought he went out with grace, you know. So it made me very happy on the way they executed his death. But then again, like you just love Merlin's character. I didn't want him to go, but it is what it is. I mean, Harry's back. Yeah. Nah, but I think Merlin's just gone. Merlin's just gone. The briefcase, one of my favorites. Voice crack. One of my favorite scenes in the movie, and you know what I'm talking about. It was right after right after Merlin died. The song started playing, and then Eggsy and Harry come out, getting through all Poppy's guards and stuff to get to her little diner that she has, because, you know, she grew up in the 50s and stuff and likes all that stuff. So she had a bunch of 50s diners, different shops, stuff like that. And so he pulls out the briefcase. The briefcase is freaking loaded. It's like a machine gun and a shield, because they didn't show that in the trailers. If I could ever have a weapon, it would be that suitcase. It would be that suitcase. It's a shield and a machine gun and a rocket launcher. That's hardcore. That's hardcore. It was also really cool and hardcore when Harry hit the one dude with his umbrella, and the end of the umbrella caught the machine gun. He grabbed the machine gun and started shooting it. The Kingsman will always have some of the best action scenes, hands down. I'm saying it now. Even with all these superhero movies and stuff we have, all these just different action movies, the Kingsman has its own style and its own flavor when it comes to action scenes. And speaking of action scenes, let's talk a little bit more about the scene where they're heading to Poppy's diner. I feel if anything in this movie was supposed to be a second version of the church massacre scene, then it was this scene. Did it top it? See, I'm trying to think, okay? I get that the church scene was really cool and like lengthy and just crazy and rambunctious. I get that. But the scene where they're heading to the diner, you know, it was really cool too. You know, the machine gun suitcase with the rocket launcher and all that. Let me think. Just a bunch of different things happened. Did it top it? In all honesty, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the church massacre was and not that much better, but I do feel it was a little bit better. I do feel it was. Most of the things that were tried, that were attempted to be topped, well, I don't know if they were attempted to be topped. Let's just say it was a second attempt at doing that. I think, for the most part, the things in the first movie were better, except for the dude who got sliced in half. That was topped by the dude being thrown into grinder, being turned into processed meat, and being turned into a burger that was eaten. That was topped. Okay, that was topped. Everything else, I feel it was done better in the first movie, but it was still really awesome in the second movie. I really liked how chill and cool Poppy was. That I love these type of villains. I love the type of villains where, like, it's the type of villain, like I said, that has a lot of money, a lot of resources. They have people do stuff for them. And then when the heroes get to them, like, they're so chill. Some of them might be really scared inside. Some of them might just actually just be chill. But point is, they'll be really chill, just talking, you know, as if like they're not worried or fearful or anything like that whatsoever. And so she was killed really easily. They just Eggsy actually ended up giving her too much of the thing it was that made everybody's faces, you know, turn blue. So she ended up dying pretty easily. Again, I think it's 50-50 on who I think was better, because I really liked certain things about Poppy. Like, I liked her charisma. I liked, you know, the kind of attitude she had. I liked how chill she was. You know, I really liked her. But then again, I really liked Samuel Jackson's as well. Yeah, I think it's just 50-50 for me. And it was also funny to see Tequila, you know, dressed up as a Kingsman at the very end of the movie. I thought that was cool. So I think that pretty much does it for this review. Like I said, there's like so many other things I probably missed, but I definitely wanted to talk about all the like main important spoilers, important scenes, important characters, important moments. Okay, I wanted to get through all of that. I tried to get through as much of it as I could. I'm pretty sure I missed something for some things. If I got all of it, then there we go, that's good. I hope there's a third one. I really do hope, I beg that there's a third one. Okay? The way they ended it, they didn't end it like, as in, there's not going to be any more. It just had an ending. It didn't have an ending teasing a third one. It just had an ending. So I definitely feel there will be a third one. Okay, no, as far as I'm concerned, I haven't heard anybody say that hated it. The way I said that the second movie topped the first movie in action overall, I think the second movie just topped the first movie overall. Like, this is one of those movies. This is like the Planet of the Apes trilogy. The second one was better than the first one. The third one was better than the second one. That's how I feel for the Kingsman. I like, overall, if you were to ask me which one do I think was better, I think the second one was better than the first one. And I think this is my main reason why I have to say. Probably because the first one was good. Okay, it was it was perfect. You know, thing about the first one is that Eggsy was training 3/4 of the movie at least. He was training, and none of that was bad. Like, we're getting to see just Eggsy being a normal kid, then training to be a spy. Then the last half, we get to see him as that spy. But in the second movie, like, he was already a spy. He was already like a really good spy, as we saw from like the first scene, that car chase, and he was like completely set and ready now, you know. So I think that might have something to do with it, at least in my opinion. But overall, if I had to say one is better, I'd definitely say I loved. Well, now that I think about it. See, now I'm thinking about it. Now, was the second one better than the first one? No, I think I'm gonna. For now, I think I'm gonna go 50-50 on that. How I am with which villain was better. Because now I'm thinking about a lot of certain things from the first one, like the church massacre, the pub scene, the pub fight scene with Harry and all the dudes. I think of certain moments between when Harry was just like a regular kid. I think of certain moments when he was training. See, I think of the climax when he was battling all the henchmen and stuff at Samuel Jackson's lair. See, I'm thinking about all that now. So, no, I'll say 50-50 for now. For now. But I did really enjoy the second one. Let me know what you guys think. That pretty much does it for me. Feels good to be doing movie reviews again. I haven't done a movie review since, what was it? I think it was The Hitman's Bodyguard. And that was over a month ago. And the reason why is because there hasn't really been any movies since then that I wanted to see. I only review movies that I want to see. And usually I'm seeing movies now like every other weekend. So you're usually getting a movie review from me like every weekend. So it feels good to be doing them again. If you enjoyed my movie review, let me know what you thought. Links to all my social media will be down below in the description box. There are 2 like buttons. Be sure to hit the button with the thumb pointing up. Share this video with anyone you feel enjoy. If you're new around here and you like what you see, tap the subscribe button and ding on the notification bell to join the Mad Squad on our journey to 10,000 subscribers. My name's Joe, aka Mad Joe FC. Hope y'all have a marvelous day. Mad out. Mad. Strong. Together.